This is Bob from Charlton's Grill and Tap, and this is Hey Chef Bob. Am I head on straight?
Yeah.
Okay. Growing up in the East Coast, always had a patty melt. Patty melt was Thousand Island dressing, onions, bacon, cheddar cheese, sometimes American, depending on where you're at, and then rye toast, griddled together, smashed down so it was only paper thin, and you ate it. Problem is that if the bacon wasn't cooked right, you take a bite and slip out, you burn your chin, then you have to eat all the bacon. Then there's no bacon left in the sandwich, and now all you have is onions and a hamburger with the crusty old bread. So at Charlton's, we do a Patrick melt. Matter of fact, we call it Uncle Patrick's melt, named after my brother up in Pennsylvania. What we do is we start out with white bread. Butter both sides, right on the griddle. We use stone ground Dijon rather than Thousand Island dressing, because in this restaurant, Thousand Island dressing will never be made or served. Unlike most patty melts, we put cheddar cheese on both sides of the bread because you got to have something that's going to hold everything together. Now, while this is starting to grill, what we're going to do is we're going to take some caramelized onions, and we're going to start caramelizing them a little bit more. Typically, everyone will add butter to it. Well, how many people don't eat butter anymore? So, what we do, just add a little extra water. That starts the cooking process. Now, remember what I told you about the bacon? Well, what we do is we chop up all our bacon. We add that bacon to the onions. That way, all the bacon and onions are being cooked together. You're going to get all the flavors of both. Now, most people like their patty melts. Well, let's put it this way. Most patty melts that you're going to get are going to be well done. At Charlton's, we do them in any flavor you like to have. So, we take your hamburger, put it right on the griddle. We just let it sit there. Notice I didn't add any extra butter or anything to it. So we're going to let this cook for about a minute on this side until it's nice and seared. And at which time we're going to flip it over. And then it comes the critical part of what you have when you have to make a patty melt to make it the right way. But this is also the most difficult part because out of what I'm about to do, trying to make sure that it's still medium, that's the hard part. Because remember, the hamburger has to fit across all the bread, not just the center of the bread. That's what really makes a good patty melt. The reason we use chopped bacon is we want to make absolutely sure that whoever takes a bite out of it gets to taste bacon in every bite. Because if not, then why have bacon? Now you notice how nice and red it is? Well, right now, that is close to being medium. See how it's nice and crispy on the outside? That's the way a patty melt should be. It should be nice and crispy on that outside. But then here comes the critical part, because remember, when we cut into it, it's got to be medium, which means it's got to be pink on the inside. All right? Slightly red, pink. But there's also one other thing you have to remember. It's almost like a grilled cheese, because it also has to be nice brown crust, just like you would have, like Grandma would make. And that's medium. A little bit of pink, red. Of course, course, then we finish everything off with our homemade potato chips.